The tension inside the Tokyo Dome on that crisp October night was unlike anything fans had felt all season. Game 4 of the SMBC Japan series had arrived, and the stakes were enormous. The series was tied, the crowd was electric, and both teams knew that whoever took this game would seize momentum heading into the critical final stretch. Every cheer, every drumbeat from the stands, and every sharp intake of breath carried the weight of a championship dream. From the very first pitch, it was clear this wouldn't be an ordinary game. The starting pitchers faced off like gladiators in a coliseum. The home team sent out their ace, a right-hander with a devastating split-finger fastball that had embarrassed hitters all postseason. The visiting side countered with a crafty lefty, known for his precise control and ability to make even the most confident batters chase pitches off the edge of the plate. The first inning set the tone. A quick strikeout on a breaking ball had the fans roaring, followed by a perfectly timed groundout to shortstop. The home team's defense was sharp, alert, and perfectly synchronized. But the visitors were no less prepared. Their infield shifted smartly, anticipating every tendency, and by the end of the inning, it was clear, both teams had come to play flawless baseball. In the bottom of the second, the drama began. A deep drive to right field sent the crowd to its feet, the ball soaring high and curling toward the foul pole. For a moment, time seemed to freeze. Then, clang, the ball struck just inches foul. The batter smiled, adjusted his helmet, and dug back in. 2 pitches later, he drove a line drive into the gap, turning a near miss into a statement double that ignited his teammates. Momentum began to swing. The next batter executed a textbook bunt, moving the runner to third. The crowd clapped rhythmically, chanting the slugger's name as he stepped into the box. On a 2-2 count, the pitcher tried to sneak a slider past him, but it hung up just enough. The crack of the bat echoed, and the ball sailed into left field for an RBI single. 1-0. The Tokyo Dome erupted. The visiting team didn't stay silent for long. In the top of the fourth, their cleanup hitter, who had been quiet all series, finally broke through. He turned on a fastball inside and sent it deep into the right field stands. A majestic arc, a flash of bat speed, and suddenly, the score was tied. The dugout exploded in celebration, players pounding the railing, and their fans, who had traveled across the country, made their presence known. From that point, it was a chess match. Every pitch mattered. The managers on both sides played mind games with substitutions, bullpen arms warming up, pinch hitters on standby, defensive shifts recalibrating. The strategy was pure baseball theater. By the 6th inning, both starters were approaching their limits, sweat dripping, heart rates rising, yet refusing to yield. Then came the turning point. With 2 outs and runners on first and second, the home team's young shortstop made a play that will be remembered for years. A blistering ground ball shot toward the hole between third and short. He dove full stretch, snatched it in midair, spun, and fired to second for the force out. The crowd exploded into chants of his name. That single defensive gem may have saved the game. As the game entered the 7th, the tension reached its peak. The home side brought in their setup man, a reliever whose fastball had touched 160 km/h earlier in the season. His first pitch was pure fire, popping the catcher's mitt and sending a shockwave through the crowd. 3 pitches later, he struck out the side. The momentum had swung back once more. In the bottom of the 8th, the home team found their rhythm again. A leadoff single through the middle brought life back to the stands. A sacrifice bunt, a stolen base, and then, a walk. 2 runners on, 1 out. The pitcher on the mound looked rattled. The manager walked out, giving him a moment, but the crowd's roar only grew louder. The next batter stepped in, a veteran known for his clutch gene. He worked the count full. The tension was unbearable. Then, with the entire stadium holding its breath, he delivered. A rocket line drive down the right field line, fair by inches, scoring both runners. The scoreboard flipped to 3-1, and the dugout erupted. Helmets flew, players shouted, and the fans were in a frenzy. The visiting side tried to rally in the 9th. Their leadoff man drew a walk, bringing the tying run to the plate. The closer, a young phenom who'd risen from the farm system just a year earlier, took the mound. His expression was calm, almost stoic. He fired his first pitch, a 158 km/h fastball, right down the middle for strike 1. The next pitch, a splitter, fooled the batter completely. Strike 2. The fans were on their feet, waving towels, shouting in rhythm with every delivery. On the 3rd pitch, the batter swung hard, and missed. Strike 3. 1 out. 2 more to go. The second batter hit a soft grounder to third. Routine play. 2 outs. 1 step away. The crowd was roaring now, sensing victory. The final batter was the same man who had homered earlier. It was a showdown of willpower and pride. The first pitch, a slider low and away. Ball 1. The second, fastball high. Ball 2. The closer took a deep breath, adjusted his cap, and unleashed his best pitch yet. A blazing fastball on the outside corner. The hitter swung, and connected. The ball flew high, deep to center. The crowd gasped. The center fielder sprinted back, leapt at the wall, and made the catch of the series. Game over. The Tokyo Dome erupted in pure, unfiltered joy. Players stormed the field, celebrating, embracing, shouting toward the heavens. The scoreboard gleamed, home 3, visitors 1. The home team had taken Game 4, seizing a 3-1 lead in the series and putting themselves just one win away from glory. As fireworks lit up the roof of the dome, the MVP of the night was announced, the veteran slugger whose two-run double in the 8th sealed the game. Tears streamed down his face as he waved to the crowd, the weight of years of struggle melting into that one moment of triumph. In the locker room, champagne bottles waited, but there was a quiet sense of focus. They weren't done yet. One more, the manager said, his voice steady. Just one more. Meanwhile, the visiting clubhouse was silent. Helmets hung, towels draped over heads. But even in defeat, there was determination. We've come back before, their captain said quietly. We'll do it again. Outside, fans lingered long after the final out, singing team anthems, waving flags, and taking photos beneath the bright glow of the scoreboard. The energy was contagious, spilling into the Tokyo night. Analysts called it one of the finest games in Japan series history. The pitching duels, the defensive brilliance, the late-inning heroics, it had everything. Every swing, every throw carried the pulse of a nation's love for baseball. The headlines the next morning captured the moment perfectly. Clutch heroics and defensive brilliance lead home team to victory in Game 4. But beyond the statistics, it was a story of resilience. Of athletes refusing to quit. Of fans who never stopped believing. It was the kind of game that reminded everyone why the Japan series stands as one of the most emotionally charged events in the world of sports. And as dawn broke over Tokyo, the city buzzed with anticipation for Game 5. Because if Game 4 had taught fans anything, it was that in baseball, legends are born under pressure, and history waits for no one. Would the home team finish the job? Or would the visitors rise from the brink and force a comeback for the ages? That question hung in the air like the final pitch of the night, filled with tension, hope, and the promise of another unforgettable chapter in Japan series history.